Hello and welcome to the Brony Music History Podcast. My name is Rockfox and welcome to the show. Today's guest is one of the finest trance producers in the fandom. From his first release in December of 2011, he's always boasted tight and complex production and released anthems such as I Love Everything, 2468 and Rain, as well as remixing show tracks and other Brony artists. He's performed at Galacon, Brony Fair, Lovemuffin, Lunafest and more. Outside the fandom, his tracks have been supported by Armin van Buuren, Above and Beyond, Suncatcher, Aly and Fila, Marsh, Paul van Dyk, and more. From Germany, please welcome to the show, Johannes Berthold, aka JayB. Hello, hello.
Thank you. Hello, hello.
So how are you doing today? Sunny outside?
I'm doing fine. Kinda. Well, it's kind of cloudy. Something between cloudy, sunny. At least it's not raining. Because that's what's Germany suffering for the past days.
Yeah, I've been seeing some of the images coming out, and it's just, oh my god, people's houses, like just the walls.
Yeah, there's
of
still
water.
a few thousand missing, I guess.
Yeah, far out.
But it's probably mainly due to collapsing mobile services and stuff.
Yeah, right. What a time to be alive. In the year of our Lord 2021. But let's wind it back. Let's wind the clock back a bit. So you joined the fandom in 2011. But
yeah,
before then, you were already an established music producer from quite a young age. Can you run us through sort of your early history with music?
Gosh, like the total rundown. Like I got my first keyboard when I was 4, because my father wanted to prevent me from pressing buttons on his hi-fi system, so he gave me something else to press on, and so yeah. Well, I learned the recorder at the age of 5, and I started taking keyboard lessons at the age of 6, which kind of developed into piano until I was 18, 19, something like that. And when I was 8, I started playing together with my bigger brother. We are a total musical family, except my small brother, who's not playing instruments. But we were playing duo. He was playing saxophone, I was playing keyboard. We were having a few performances because my father had connections to someone who was making like events. So we got some small live acts and stuff, and this developed more and more, and we got more and more performances. We got another singer for us, Sandra, and at some time in the middle, I started making my own stuff. Like I had a few keyboards that I still have around here. Some of these are from the early days, and I started making music at around 2003 or something, like my own music. And this developed, and I was going through a couple of styles, and somehow I felt most comfortable in trance.
And so were you at that age sort of partying and going to trance gigs, or just like listening on the radio?
Neither, actually. I have never seen a discotheque from the inside.
Wow.
Neither was I at any of those bigger events. I was just like really listening at home to the stuff, and yeah, dancing by myself or something like that.
Okay.
I'm too introverted for that.
Yeah.
However, I kind of feel comfortable when I'm on stage, but not when I'm in the crowd.
Okay, that's an interesting. I feel like that's a very very musician's perspective to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so in the sort of late 2000s, you'd released several professional tracks on Black Hole and some other places, and you've gotten some decent support. And so how does a trance artist find their way into the Brony fandom in that early 2010s?
I'm in the furry fandom since 2005.
Okay,
and those are kind of connected. So I've got a few friends from furries who introduced me to My Little Pony, and I thought, what the heck is this? And at one day I thought, let's give it a try, and I watched the first episode and was like, okay, let's watch the second and the third and the fourth and the fifth, and I was addicted.
And so did the music immediately jump out to you as special?
Well, it was catchy. That that is true. But the first song that actually was like that got my mind blown, that got the remix senses tickling in me, was actually Winter Wrap Up.
Of course.
And I was looking because it had such a nice tempo, upbeat tempo, that I thought this could be an electronic remix, or this could use an electronic remix, and I found one, but I didn't think this was exactly what I was looking for, so I searched for the a cappella, found it eventually on SoundCloud, I think, and started doing my own remix. This was when I was at boarding school and I had nothing but my laptop with me, which is not the usual style that I'm working with, but it came out pretty well and got quite some popularity and got my foot in the fandom.
Yeah. And so, were there other artists that you were seeing doing remixes at that time? I know Pinkie Pie Swear had done some trance tracks, but was there anyone else around that was also doing trance when you started?
I can't remember those guys that did the Winter Wrap Up remix.
Hmm.
This was probably written video description of the original video.
Yeah. Okay.
But I was actually really paying too much attention. This came more and more with the time I was releasing remixes myself, that I had to look into the other artists.
Okay. Cool. Well, so composed on your laptop, in in school. Let's listen to Winter Wrap Up, the shortcut, because if we listen to extended mixes, we're going to be here all night. So I'm going to play that. And
Nobody wants to listen to drum beats for 2 minutes.
Yeah, except for the DJs. Bless them. All right, let's get this played.
Everyone it feeds apples, carrots, celery, stuff, colorful flowers too. We must work so very hard. It's just so much to do.
And there we go from December of 2011. Winter Wrap-Up remix. A song that got
Do
taken
you
down.
realize this is almost 10 years ago?
Yeah, 25th of December 2011. So it'll be the
You're getting
10-year
old.
anniversary in, yeah, like 6 months. Wow. How do you feel about that track almost 10 years on?
I still really like it, actually. Like I'm not a fan of all of the remixes I did, but that's one that I actually really like because yeah, I just like it. I can't
Yeah.
even say why. It's this nice mixture of pads and high strings and still this tight beat.
And
Yeah.
I feel like sort of that style of uplifting trance just never goes out of style. Really. It's been kicking since the 90s. It will kick into the future.
And I still try to keep it alive myself.
Yeah, definitely. And boy, does the scene need it at the moment. Some as much as I love the new progressive style, there is something about that pumping 138 that's just like, yeah, I want to party. Soar through the skies. All right, so that was in December of 2011. That video did actually end up getting taken down by Hasbro for copyright the first time you uploaded it.
Yeah.
And you had to upload it to your
Well,
channel.
it wasn't like taken down. It was like blocked in the entire world, but it was still online. And I kind of regret a bit that I deleted the video too early
Oh, of course.
because of that. Because like when was it? 14, 15, something like that, when they lifted all those claims again.
Yep. And you could say this is the
But,
original video. Oh well.
Yeah.
I guess that
Didn't work for that one.
Yeah. So there were other artists making trance around then. People like Thorinair, H-Mage. So you said you paid increasingly more attention as you got more involved with the fandom. Why was that?
Because I at some point I found out that there are actually artists out there that are playing in the style that I like the mentioned Thorinair, H-Mage, which are, by the way, two really nice guys. I've seen them at Galacon and some other conventions, I think. But they follow the style that I like, because the thing with the fandom is that you usually get all this kind of dubstep, complex throw house stuff. But it's not like I don't like it, but it's not the thing that I usually want to listen to.
Yeah, right. And did you ever feel like your music, like when you were making trance for pony audiences, that maybe it was received better in the German bronies than it was sort of overseas, among with the Americans, or did you not really get that vibe?
I didn't really get that vibe,
Okay, cool.
actually. Like I hardly ever paid attention where the guys that liked this music came from. I mean,
Okay.
I could have looked up the YouTube statistics, but
Yeah.
I just enjoyed people being happy about the stuff.
Yeah, and I had to scroll through the comments of some of your early videos. There's some very nice comments in there. Were you, when you started making those first pony tracks, was the response from the Brony fandom different to what you were used to getting from the response to, say, when you were releasing commercial music?
Mainly in quantity.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I uploaded Winter Wrap Up and it's got spread around through Reddit and stuff, I suddenly had viewers on my channel. Like, I think I don't know where I was, like 1,000 subscribers or something like that back then, and suddenly the numbers were going up.
Yeah.
And I'm up to this day, people that are subscribing to me, be it on YouTube or on Twitter or something, there's still bronies among them. Probably hoping that I will release some new tracks at some point.
Waiting for the day.
He will come back.
We just have to manifest hard enough and he's going to return.
Maybe on 1st April.
The first,
I'm gonna troll the people. I'm gonna make a live performance about a pony song in fursuit.
And it's going to be in 90s rock style.
Maybe. Got a guitar still hanging over there.
Yeah, I believe it.
Or I could do some ukulele stuff.
Okay. So very much a multi-instrumentalist, and as I can see from all of the synths back in the corner, very much a hardware musician. So when in your sort of early discography, do you remember the first track that you made of your Brony music that was made back on hardware?
Yeah, that was the Becoming Popular remix.
Okay, and so that's sort of
It was
again,
like the direct follow-up of Winter Wrap-Up.
yeah,
When I was
nice.
back home again.
And that was a good one. But I think probably the track that most people are going to know you for is "I Love Everything," released in September 2012. Either that or "Rain."
Yeah. But those are at least the originals. The most popular Brony remix track that I have is not Find My Way. Love Is in Bloom.
Oh, okay. So that
It's the only pony remix that has like over 100,000 views.
Oh, okay, cool.
Which is like nothing in the fandom, but
yeah, it's yeah, when you
Trance-
see like people getting millions
trance
and
is kind of a
millions.
niche genre.
Yeah, it even like it is really interesting though, because despite the fact your videos don't have a whole lot of views, sort of relative to, you know, like Living Tombstone or Mike the Microphone.
Silverhound or something.
Yeah. I do feel like there's been a real cultural memory of a lot of your music, because everyone always knows the tracks, even though obviously, you know, if Rain only has 50,000 views or whatever, it's like not a lot of people are knowing them. Are you what's the word I'm looking for? You've always made tracks with like really catchy melodies. You've made tracks that have had some really good remix packages as well. Where am I going? I don't know where I'm going with this, but I just I don't know. It's always so interesting, I guess, from an Australian perspective. Like trance is quite popular here. But even at like at a convention, for example, I wouldn't drop trance. I wouldn't drop trance if it was going to save the world, because it feels like such a niche genre. But your tracks, I do feel like, have quite a broad appeal. Is that something you were trying to go for, or was that just incidental in making making catchy tracks with good lyrics and stuff?
Well, this is really something that just happens. Like,
Okay.
I'm not saying I want to make the super catchy track right now. This is kind of the way I'm writing melodies.
Yeah, right.
Because the thing is, I'm not the way I work. Not like I do my work, but I work in my head. It's just that I don't sit down and I go like I'm gonna write this or that melody, but I'm just playing, and at some point I'm pressing record, and whatever comes through my fingers is being recorded, and if it sounds catchy, then I make a few corrections here and there, and then I'm done.
Okay, so it's very much a like on the spot inspiration.
Yeah. What I usually hear about my tracks, what people do appreciate, is that it's for some reason still has this 90s feelings. That is what you said as well. And while I'm personally always try to be as modern as possible, this 90s image still stays.
Yeah, it's definitely. I think part of that is trance itself.
It's maybe because I'm not using the
new Serum. You're not using Serum and all the new software stuff. You're using all of the hardware stuff.
Okay, we were talking about hardware synthesizers.
Yeah. So I think personally one of the reasons why I think your sound sort of your vibe has that 90s sound, despite like very modern production values, is that with hardware there is just something about it that because you're not really chasing, I don't know, like the really modern way of doing things with software and everything, that it sort of keeps that vibe? I don't know. Am I just talking out of my ass here? Do you think there's any truth in that?
Well, people, you said before the connection broke off that hardware has its own sound, and this is something I totally agree on. Like, I can make the Sylenth, the Lena Digital Sylenth, sound exactly like the Yamaha AN1X, and still the AN1X has a bit more dirt, a bit more power than the Sylenth, and maybe that's what people always connect to the 90s, because it doesn't sound that much digital, even though this is an entirely digital synth.
Right. Is this why your pony's cutie mark is a Yamaha icon?
most likely. Yeah, I'm seriously, I'm an absolute Yamaha fanboy.
Right. Okay. And so I was reading that the vocals in "I Love Everything" was done on hardware, like the Fluttershy vocals. So that, forgive my lack of music production knowledge here. Is that a sample, or is that using it like as an instrument?
Yes.
Okay.
Both, actually. Well, it's using the roll and vary phrase technology. This means the entire separation of pitch, time, and formants. So you can play the sample like an instrument, and you adjust time and stuff in real time and formants. And this way, the vocals get really playable on keyboard.
Right. Okay. And so you sort of constructed sentences like out of these like vocal chops, I guess.
They're actually not so much.
Okay.
This is really just the I love everything. The I must This is just that, and the other lyrics are just a bit time stretched, and that's it.
Oh, okay, cool. Wow. Well, let's have a listen to that one. Because I like to this day, I guess when I've played your music at cons, I Love Everything is always the one that gets the best reaction. I think part of that is just the song itself is just timeless, and it's also had a good few remixes along the way that have been like fucking knocked my socks off. But let's play the original.
All right.
Oh, not that one.
That sounds better.
Yeah, that's it. All right, let's skip the kick drums though. Okay, there is I Love Everything from 2012. In what month was that? September of 2012.
I just checked my folder, my remixed folder, and I have at least 15 remixes of I Love Everything.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Well, there is at least 29 remixes of Rain that I have.
That also doesn't surprise me at all. Do you have any personal favorites of any of your tracks that have been remixed by others?
You mean the remixes? Actually, most of them were in styles that I didn't really like. The Sonic Rainboom stuff, I guess.
Yeah, Foodbag. Oh yeah, all of his
Yeah,
stuff was
Sonic
great.
Rainboom did some nice like retro trance stuff that was really good.
Yep,
Um,
and like old school
and
Goa as well.
what was the other guy's name? It's too long ago. Can't remember.
Yeah, I definitely know. My favorite I Love Everything remix is definitely the Faulty and Join the Herd one, which is sort of like a progressive complextro, bit of psytrance influence. That one always just
Yeah.
love it.
Oh, that. I think this was one of the recent ones. Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, that was 2018 or 19.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I'm still in contact with Faulty, and I kinda was there when it was in production.
Oh, okay. There we go. See, so not entirely disconnected from the fandom.
Although I
Yeah,
still got a few friends from there that
awesome.
I'm in contact with.
Yeah. So,
Some of them joined the furry fandom by now.
oh, I mean, God, most of us, if we haven't, yeah, most of us, if we haven't already, it's well overdue. I know I played Rain at a furry convention 2 months ago with a live singer, which was great fun. And that was
Okay.
yeah. The Whirly Tail, like there's Whirly Tail did a Happy Hardcore remix. And I was doing a Happy Hardcore set, and me and my partner were just like, "Yep, let's do this. We're fucking playing Happy Hardcore," and that was fun. And on the subject of conventions, live sets, you've played in a couple of different countries as JayB, at Pony, like at Pony gigs
Actually,
and
it's
also at
just-
conventions. Just Germany?
It's just Germany and England.
Yeah. So the first one was
Actually, just those two.
in 2014 in England, right? In
Yeah,
London.
that was my first DJ gig, and the first time I was abroad all by myself.
Wow.
And the first time I was in England.
Okay, so
So
that was
there was quite a few premieres.
yeah, and so you're definitely then more a producer than a DJ.
Definitely.
Yeah. So did you learn to DJ for that, or had you just sort of been gradually picking up the skills?
This was something I did like for a few years. Like the main reason I got kind of into DJing was because I wanted to know how my songs sound mixed up with others. This is how I got into DJing. But I bought some equipment like for this particular event, so I had something to actually control the laptop with.
Yeah, right. And by that time, obviously, you had like a pretty reasonable body of work. Were you playing other pony music in those sets as well, or like just your stuff?
You mean on the first set I was a mixture, but on the pony side I was mainly playing my own stuff
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
wasn't finding someone that was mixing well into my sets.
Yeah, right. And how did you find those early Brony parties? I guess.
How I did find
Yeah, like how did you
meaning
find
how
performing? Like how? Sorry.
excuse-
How did you enjoy the performing side of it?
Absolutely, it was total fun because the crowd was super euphoric, and I never. This was the first time when I learned that how you can actually manipulate people, like doing waving stuff, and the whole crowd goes with you. That was something I never experienced before. It was super fun.
Yeah, and it's a very. I feel like pony crowds have always been very forgiving, even if you're not sort of a phenomenally professional DJ. They'll always come along with the ride for you if you just interact with them. And yeah, so you played that. So that was quite a small party, right? The first one.
Yeah, it was about 150 people, something
Like
that.
in a club.
Yeah, and it was a small club.
They
Yeah.
rented out a small club. That's pretty cool. But also, you've played at sort of Galacon,
Yeah.
which was a bit bigger. That came a bit later, though, right?
I think in 2014 or something like that. This was my first Galacon.
Okay. So same
And
here. Was that a bigger crowd?
yeah, absolutely. There was like I haven't counted, but like 200, 300, 400 people.
Yeah.
I guess.
Wow.
And it was actually among the Bronies. The 2014 Galacon was the best gig I ever had.
Cool.
Like I actually just played my own stuff, which was quite unusual for that. But they then even called for an encore, which was something I absolutely didn't expect.
Did you have anything prepared for your encore?
I actually never even prepared the entire set. This is just something I try to feel when I'm seeing the crowd, if they're enjoying what is happening at the moment, or if they want something faster or slower or something like that, then I'm adapting to that.
Well, that's good, because genuinely fuck prepared encores. Like, oh my god, just don't. Anyway, that's my personal music opinion. But sort of
I played Find My Way to get the crowd out.
yeah, of course. You
Actually, this is one of my least favorite one, but they enjoyed it.
Yeah. Okay. So you have songs that you like. You have songs that maybe you don't like as much. Do you have any proudest songs in your Brony catalog?
Proudest songs in my Brony catalog. Let me check. Actually, the thing is, I'm at the point at one point it's too long ago, and at the other point it's too many.
Yeah, because there was.
Of course, the last ones actually are those that I enjoy the most.
Okay, so that's your
the Spectre is a great track. I'm really proud of Fall to the Clouds, of that remix, because it's so banging and loud.
Yep.
And Equestria remix, Exiark, featuring Ckibe, whatever it's pronounced. I don't want to do this.
You're gonna murder that one.
So epic. And from the early works, or like from the official stuff, of course, Love is in Bloom, because it's so popular. And well, there's just too many that I'm more or less proud of. Rain, of course, because it's an original and it's got a super intense breakdown. A Friend for Life, because it's not a friend for it's a Friend for Life, because it's a really banging drop and stuff like that.
Nice.
That's there's always something I like about each production of mine.
Yeah.
I
And
couldn't.
you
One favorite.
can't murder your darlings. Did any of those tracks feel like a significant jump for you? Like it was like a significant moment? Um,
Love is in Bloom, of course, in terms of popularity,
mhm.
and A Friend for Life, especially in terms of production quality,
Okay.
because this is when I kind of nailed the Trance or Trance 2.0 style pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. I do like that one. Oh, bless. All right, let's talk about Rain. Rain was your first collaboration with another Brony artist.
Yeah.
Almost 2 years into being in the fandom. Had you just not found anyone else that you sort of like to collab with that just sort of meshed with your style before then?
I'm very bad at collaborating. This is what people had to learn when they're working with me. Because I'm at the point where I'm usually I'm a control person. Like people can like give me some stuff that I can work with, but the final result is in my hand, and that's what makes it difficult. Also,
Right.
being on a bad connection side makes it not easy as well.
Yep.
That's why I prefer working only with vocalists. The thing working with vocalists is that you usually kind of need vocal something for them to sing on, and writing lyrics isn't exactly my strength. And there are a few moments every year when I feel like, oh, this sounds like something that could make it into lyrics, and then I'm kind of struggling to create a full story out of that. And I don't know what exactly was the inspiration with Rain, but it kind of worked.
Yeah. So
So
did
I
you write
guess,
all of the lyrics for Rain?
yeah, I did.
Okay, and Giggly Maria sung on it. Um,
Yeah,
and yeah, oh, it's a song that tells a story, even if you don't know what story you're trying to tell. In my opinion,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
it's
This is something that that I noticed too. Like, you get a mood, a certain something which is kind of mysterious, but you actually don't know what it is about. And this is kind of what helps me out a bit here, because which is my bad storytelling. Because if you don't know what it's about, then you don't know if it's good or not.
well, I have a theory, right? So in the pony fandom, we're all drawing from a central body of work, right? And so that means that if you make a song with a certain mood and you put a pony on the cover, someone in the fandom is going to draw a story from My Little Pony to your music. What do you think?
I tried this. That's a story that I tried to as well. Like, I got this live performance, Rising Sun.
Mm-hmm.
And this song is from 2006 or something like that,
That's
long
an Armin
before
van
Ponies.
Buuren track, right? Is it? Oh, wait, is that?
Excuse me?
Is Rising Sun? Is that the Armin? No, Yet Another Day is the Armin van Buuren remix. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, the Rising Sun is an original track.
Yep.
It was released in 2006 or 2007, and I did a rework of that as a live performance in 2015, I guess. And someone actually mentioned this recently in one of my comments about this track. Why is there a reference to Princess Celestia in the comments? Because I wrote something like, if you want to find a connection to Princess Celestia in the song title, then just do it, but it's got nothing to do with it. The song
Okay.
was much older than her.
Okay. While we're on the subject of finding connections in song titles, Pegasus, that was released on Daniel Candy's label, was that in any way related to My Little Pony?
It even has My Little Pony samples in it.
Oh, okay. So those are like vocals chopped up in there.
No, not the vocals. It's
Okay.
it's something that you also heard in I Love Everything in the first section of the breakdown, where it's really collapsing and only you've got pads and a few arps. There is some voices in the background which are much with a lot of delay, a lot of reverb, so you can't understand them exactly. And in I Love Everything, you have Fluttershy talking about her shyness and how she got down to earth. And in Pegasus, which originally called Tornado, but they kind of got the title wrong, there you can hear the audio of this old movie that they showed there, Tornado Power, this thing, and you can actually hear this tornado power within the breakdown if you listen closely.
Well, there we go.
But it kind of made it into the final release, so nobody noticed it.
And that was, I was just looking at 1001 track lists for the support on that track, and like that was, I think Aly and Fila played that, Mark Sherry played that, and it's like, so it is very sneakily a pony track.
Well, the melody it wasn't intended as a pony track.
Well, no,
I just
but-
thought I kind of troll the people by naming it pony and doing pony stuff in there, and it kind of made sense after in the end.
That's very cool. All right. Okay. Well, we've talked about Rain, so let's play the radio edit of Rain. And
Not the intro mix.
Not the. Oh, there's an intro mix. Do I have that in my library?
Yeah. I don't
Hang
know.
on.
That's the one that starts with rain and a piano only, or Rhodes. I think I've got it on my website.
Yeah. No, I only have the radio edit and the extended. Well, listener, if you're listening, go to JayB's website, which first, can I just say, a very good archive of a website for both information and for music. And go and download the intro mix of Rain from that website, and download a whole bunch of other free music there while you're at it, because you've done a very good job at cataloging and archiving your music when a lot of people just fucking deleted their channels.
Yeah. No, I've not all the Brony stuff is on my website. Like all these official, or most of the official tracks aren't, but at least the originals and those other remixes like 2468 should be on there as well.
Yeah, it is.
Don't know.
Equestria is on there, but also all of the tracks that are linked in the descriptions of your video, they're still available to download from the website. You just can't access them from the website.
Yeah.
One of the things I discovered
They should,
today.
even though sometimes comments say different.
Yeah, the comments are wrong. Sorry, comments. All right, let's play Rain.
Some hours have passed, the sun should be setting now. I cannot walk on and fall to the ground. I keep looking up in search for a ray of light. Now stop to pretend there's nothing to find.
Mike.
Yes, true. Thank you. Yeah, fuck, what a track. Oh, yeah, just makes me nostalgic for So, continue, sorry.
I really love how the after the dubstep part before it goes into the main drop, this collapse where the drums get filtered down again and there's this trance beat slowly coming up. This is, I don't know how I did this, but I like it.
Yeah, why? Come on, you gotta re-listen to your old body of work to get ideas for next time. So that sort of 2012, 2013, 2014 period was when you released sort of the most Brony music. And things sort of tapered off a bit after that. You've mentioned already The Fall to the Clouds from 2016, 2015, Spectacle in 2016. There was a 90s rock track, I think, in 2015. Which
that was fun to do.
Yeah, I can imagine something a bit different to what you do normally. So were you sort of losing interest in the fandom at that point, or just not finding the same inspiration?
Yeah, kind of. It was two things. It was at one point that the series, the episodes weren't as interesting for me as they were before. Like you kind of felt that they now realized that they can't always feed the bronies, but they have to care about the little girls, and so the episodes got more into that direction. And the 5th and 6th series, and also the fandom itself was kind of splitting up. I think
you don't have to be diplomatic. It's fine.
Well, it was mainly because the last two conventions I had, like the Brony Fair and the Galacon, you were invited as a DJ, but you always felt like it's some unnice necessity that you had to be there because you were pushed somewhere in some corner with the DJ equipment.
Okay, so
at some point there's some much nicer things were happening at another corner of the convention.
Right. Okay. So you felt like you weren't, you didn't have the impact. The con wasn't sort of giving you the credit you really deserved for what you were giving them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Like on Brony, I don't know how many people are on Brony Fair, but there was some point when there was just 4 people on the dance floor.
Yeah, right.
And 2 of them were helping building up the entire set.
Yep.
And I was about to cancel my set after half of the time because who should I play for? But then all of a sudden there was some bunch of people, like a dozen people coming in that were already drunk from the bar. And that was what kind of saved me then.
And that is the ideal crowd, the drunk bronies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely empathize. I played
not too fond of drunk people.
I played for a room of 3 people when I went to Vancouver to DJ at Vancouver, and it was an experience. But yeah, look, it's the way it is the way things go sometimes. I do think that bronies aren't exactly the party type. Compared to, say, like furry conventions where everyone is on the dance floor, like just going hard. There's always a lot more happening at brony conventions at night as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And a lot more interesting things.
Well, I played 3 times at Eurofurence for now, and the dance floor was always full, even though it was the day before the convention actually started.
Yeah. Oh, that's hectic.
But
I love that. Oh, God, I miss furry cons.
Yeah, and if every 4th one is dancing there in fursuit, enjoying your music, this is just nice to look at.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good vibe. Okay, so you sort of winded down your pony music, but you've very much continued on with your professional stuff. Are you making music, or are you working in sound? What's the word I'm looking for? Are you working in the music industry full time?
No.
Okay.
I kind of work in the sound industry full time because I'm doing hearing aids.
Oh,
But
okay.
this is like compressors, limiters, equalizers, just for a different audience.
Yeah, right. And probably much simpler compressors and equalizers than you're used to working with.
Actually, not at all.
Ooh, okay.
Like you've got, depending on the price range, you've got like 24 band multiband compressors, which is where in the music stuff you have got like 3, 4, 5 bands,
There we go.
and there's much more to set up.
Oh,
Transient designers, multiband noise gates, something like that. This is all the stuff you get.
wow, there we go. All right. So today we learned that JayB has been working with crazy audio gear, but just for hearing since he finished Pony. That's I actually genuinely think that is quite cool. Because you are like
I like my job.
Yeah, you're using the sort of your musical knowledge to really help people and make a difference. I think that's fucking sick.
Yeah.
But sort of even in your period where you sort of stopped like releasing songs pretty regularly, you did, as you say, release the Fall to the Clouds remix, the Spectacle remix, and of course Equestria in 2015. Did those tracks just sort of catch your eye? You weren't really listening to a lot of Pony music, but it was just like, oh, cool, that one sounds nice.
Yep.
I know that artist. Yeah, right.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
And
I've been following some of these artists for a while, and that was the point when I said, "Damn, I need to remix this."
yeah. So let's talk about Equestria specifically. You say that's the first dubstep song that ever made it onto your MP3 player.
Yes. It's still there? I don't think.
No, it is. That's a very old MP3 player. So what
I never
caught
had a
your...
classical MP3 player.
Oh, really? There we go.
It's more MP4, but no, I had Sony Walkmans for a long time, like the electronics, but now it's all on phone.
Yeah,
I'm still not the Spotify type guy.
And I mean, if you're a music collector, Spotify just doesn't cut it.
Yeah.
Like anyway. So what specifically about Equestria caught your eye?
It's still, besides being dubstep, had this melodic trancey vibe. Like it wasn't entirely onto stuff, but it had still all those melodic elements, and the dubstep part was more like the base of it.
Yeah, okay. I feel like a lot of Exiark's tracks, you can slide into trance sets, and they don't sound that out of place compared to, most dubstep. I don't think you're going to hear Skrillex played by most trance artists anytime soon, but Exiark always managed it. So let's spin your remix of Equestria, because in my opinion, it is one of the best trance tracks in the fandom. You did really good. It blows my mind.
It's just the big pads and the breakdown.
Yeah, that's true, and like the big pads that complement the vocals really well, I think.
Yeah.
Did you like working with those vocals when you got the acapella? Did they feel trancey?
Yeah, absolutely. It was so much fun. Like just playing the vocals and just hitting the chords to that, because whatever you played, it just felt great.
Very cool. All right, let's play Equestria by Exiark featuring Ckibe. I think that's how you pronounce that name. And this is the JayB remix.
There's a place in your heart, in everyone I see. No place for fear or hate, only for harmony. You call it home, you call it heaven, but mine is not of those, and I'm still standing. Some say you lose your time, staring at
Thank. Oh, Equestria. I'm learning. This is episode 2 of the show. It's still learning at the moment. All right, final couple of questions. So one of the questions that I'm trying to ask all of my guests is, where do you think you'd be without Pony? And for a lot of them, I assume they'd say probably I wouldn't be as much of a musician as I am now. What do you think Pony has done for your approach to music? What do you think the impact's been for you?
Actually, the main impact was really audience and experience in production. Like a lot of people, a lot more people are listening to my stuff now, and it gains more popularity because outside the Bronies, I'm mainly known for sound sets for synthesizers, and not for my music. But within the Brony fandom, it's mainly my music that I'm known for, and this also was kind of an accelerator for me to get better at production.
Okay, and you think you got better because you were getting sort of more instant feedback on your music than, say, sort of submitting 800 tracks to record labels and not really hearing back?
Yeah, that definitely.
Oh, cool.
Because it was giving me the chance to release stuff for free that I don't even need to care about sending them to labels. And yeah, I got instant reviews, which was kind of great.
Yeah, okay. That's an interesting perspective to hear. I'm curious if we'll hear more people have that sort of opinion as the show goes on. And you obviously do care a lot about your old music because you've done a really good job of keeping things up, of archiving it, both on YouTube and also on your website and everything. To me personally, as a sort of trance producer who is trying to sort of make, well, okay, let's rewind. I feel like trance is a very serious scene, and being a trance producer who also at one point made music inspired by My Little Pony, do you feel like that's had an influence on the way your music has been received professionally, or is it just good music is good music?
I think the latter. I never, at least, I never actually get any response pointing out that I love your songs, but we shouldn't do the Brony stuff.
Okay.
Because I always felt like I'm at the point where whatever I put out, it's just sounding good, no matter if it's Pony or not.
And your music.
And that was always my approach.
Right. Yep.
It was always my approach to get this contrast between a high quality production and, well, quirky, colorful ponies.
Yeah.
And this is the same actually that I'm now kind of getting back into with the furries.
Yeah,
like the recent Cheese Party remix, which was a dead serious progressive trance production with
the very funny lyrics. Yeah. And so you're getting more into. You've been a furry for longer than you've been a Brony. Are you getting more into furry as time goes on, or was that just like a one-off to make some furry music?
No, I'm not sure if I'm getting into furry music because there is it's not as much like templates that you can work with. Like you don't have a series that you watch with music unless you start remixing Disney songs.
Yeah.
Which I kind of did, but not furry related stuff.
No, not just for earworm potential with Let It Go. Yeah, and
this is still the most viewed remix that I did.
That doesn't surprise.
No, but in overall, I'm much more into furries now than I was before Bronies.
Okay.
Because I now got to learn conventions, and well, also my living situation has changed a lot. So yeah, I'm much more into that now.
So does that mean that if people want to hear JayB perform, they're going to have to put their ears and tails on and start coming to furry conventions?
Something like that, yeah.
And so you said earlier
your reference is like a standard for me now.
Okay, cool. And so performing there is something you're gonna try keep doing, or keep
Yeah.
trying to do. Awesome.
Because it was always fun.
Yeah. The furries know how to party. Having
Definitely.
played 4 or 5 furry conventions now, oh my god, the furries know how to party. Yeah, cool. And so you said earlier,
That's true.
The only time you're going to come back to Pony is for an April Fool's joke. So we're not expecting any new Pony music. Not G5 isn't enticing you, or are you just happy to sort of let that chapter be in the past?
Yeah, I'm kind of done with it. I'm not looking back with anger or something like that, but it was a good part of my life. But I moved on now, and I want to keep it that way.
Yeah, fair enough. And I 100% respect that. Like leaving something that's had a good run, that's like leaving with smiles rather than letting yourself become the villain, I think is the normal story. All right, do you have a proudest moment in the Brony fandom? Do you have like, even whether it's like IRL or like a reception of a track?
I think really my proudest moment was playing at the Galacon 2014.
Cool. All right.
This was like when I really felt felt the appreciation of the fandom. Like we want to see more of this guy, and we love what he's doing.
And there really is nothing like
that's
that.
Of course, kind of what I.
Yeah, there's nothing like that real life convention, like kinetic feedback to say yes. Like,
yeah.
The music I'm making is really talking to people.
Yeah.
And final question for the night, and thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Or final question for your morning, actually, given time zones. Do you have any other artists that you'd like to hear interviewed on the show in the future? Anyone from around your time that do you think has a cool story to tell?
Very good question. I think it's either Andy, whatever you want to call him, and Pony Firestone that have pretty much a thing to tell, I guess.
So what was the first one?
%I. The end sign.
Oh, right, and I. Yes. Oh,
And I.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Gosh, I don't even know where they're from. That'll be an interesting one to track down.
He's from Germany as well.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, do you know them?
We've seen each other a few times.
Okay, cool.
Excuse me?
Do you know them?
Yeah, I know Andy in person. We've met a few times. And as for Pony Firestone, he's from America. We've only had one or few vocal calls, I guess. Voice chats, you know.
Cool. Well, I'll put that on. I've got a big master list of everyone that I want to get interviewed and everyone that's been suggested. So we'll put it on the list, and who knows, maybe we'll get it lined up in the future. So thank you so much for your time, JayB. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna give you a bro hoof for old time's sake. And sign out for the night.
Thank you for your time.
No worries.
Thanks for having me.
Do you have a final shout out you want to give to anything, or just? No. All right. Good night then.
Before I say something stupid, I'd rather prefer to say nothing. No. I don't know actually really what to say.
Cool. Well, in that case, thanks everyone for tuning in. If you've enjoyed the show, please share it around with your friends. The more we can get this moving, I think the more momentum we're going to have, and I'm really going to try and hit some of those big artists that might not otherwise be communicating with the fandom. And if we can point to videos and say, yes, this is something that is going to be worthwhile to tell your story, hopefully that's what happens. So yeah, peace everyone, and good night.